Hello and welcome to today's June 16th stimulus package update. If you're a subscribed member of my community, hey, welcome back, amazing. And if you're not, subscribe right now. It's totally free. I'll give you the best updates and I'll also share other smart money tips with you. Okay, now additional information has come out about the $2 trillion stimulus program that the White House is beginning to discuss. The White House wants to spend between $750 billion and $1 trillion on infrastructure spending and creating new jobs. I've said this before, but this was a move that the government actually used to help rescue the country after the Great Depression. Now, two positive things that I can see with this line of thinking is it creates jobs. And not only jobs, but typically higher paying jobs that have a multiple year timeline. This will be a way of creating millions of jobs for Americans, and many of those workers will benefit from the higher pay and also not having to worry about, am I going to be let go from this program in the next couple weeks or the next couple of months? Projects could include freeways, highways, bridges, airports, train stations, anything related to the transportation field, etc., etc. The benefit of this line of thinking is that it already has Democrat and Republican support. So anytime we can get both parties pulling in the same direction for the American people is a good thing. With the $2 trillion stimulus amount, the thing I like about this is it leaves a lot of wiggle room for there to be money for the people. With $1 trillion, that was a really tight package. With this, it does free up the ability to give money to the federal government, the infrastructure, and also the American people, and these potential get back to work bonuses or continued unemployment additional funding, right? So as of right now, though, money for the people is still on the table. So even though I'm talking about some of these other programs, that is still on the table. If you own a business or did gig work or 1099 work, the EIDL program is back up and running. EIDL stands for Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. This allows those that own a business or work for themselves to get a $1,000 grant and apply for a low-cost, long period of time loan from the Small Business Administration, or SBA. The $1,000 grant is good for up to 10 people in your business. So for me personally, I was rejected from this about 10 days ago, and now that frees up some money to be able to get a loan and continue to keep operations with my own business going. Janice from the community asks, is there any chance my employer is stealing my essential workers' pay? I don't think so, because no essential worker pay has been distributed to your employer. Money for the essential workers at this point is still on the table. I'm hoping that it will make it into the final draft of the Phase 4 stimulus, and that those that continue to work will be compensated. I believe you deserve that. It's not being talked about a lot, but just know that as of right now, it is still on the table. Okay, Jose asks, what is the V-shaped recovery I keep hearing about on the news? Okay, now there are essentially 4 different ways an economy might bounce back from an economic drop or a stock market drop. The first is a V-shape, where the market drops or the economy drops very quickly, but it also comes back fairly quickly. That is what they mean by the V-shaped recovery. You then have a U-shaped recovery, where it drops and then struggles a little bit, but then also is able to come back and recover. That would be a U-shape. An I-shape is when it drops for some strange reason and then just comes right back to where it was. And then there's this idea of a check mark, right? Where it drops very quickly, but it takes a very long time to get back to where you were. That's the check mark recovery. That typically can be anywhere from 12 to 18 months or multiple years. So we definitely don't want that. Right now, the White House is hoping for a V-shaped recovery, But with the extended lockdown, jobs not coming back as quickly as possible, and a delay in stimulus voting, I personally don't see a V-shaped recovery. If the federal government will do more stimulus and focus on jobs and getting money directly to the people, then I do think we have a chance of seeing a U-shaped recovery. That would take maybe 12 to 18 months. And that's Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell has said similar things. If there is no stimulus or too little stimulus, or this stimulus vote drags out past summer, then it is very likely that we will see a checkmark recovery. Sadly, it took over 20 years for the United States to recover after the Great Depression. We do not want to see that. Now, I don't think that we'll go there because of the stimulus relief packages and also the Federal Reserve acting very quickly to address liquidity and credit needs. So I don't see that happening, but that's a great question, Jose. Hey, if you found this video helpful, will you give it a like so that YouTube will share it with others? Will you please share this on Facebook and other social media platforms? Okay, if you want to learn about the #1 book that helped me to understand and behave better with my money, check out the video that I made earlier today. Otherwise, I so appreciate you being in my community, and just remember that you are amazing, and I will see you on the next video.